Recital is not your business. And treating it like it is, well, that's costing you money. Most studio owners that I meet start running out of money in the spring because they stop enrolling dancers. This episode, and I know it's a controversial hot take, I'm gonna show you how to flip the script and turn recital season into potentially your biggest growth opportunity of the year. Welcome back to Dance Studio Advertising. I'm Bryce Conlon. Let's get into it. Now, right now, and I mean right now, studio owners are feeling slammed with recital prep, costume chaos. If you do competition, that's all ramping up. Calendar gridlock, the venue calling, and parents pounding down your door because they didn't read the email that you sent the first 19 times. So studio owners oftentimes hit pause on enrollment just to survive the mayhem. But that pause comes with a profit cliff. New dancers are still looking for places to dance, but you're saying no. Revenue starts to drop even if you don't notice or feel it until the summertime. Momentum dies, summer shrinks, and you're setting yourself up for a poor fall enrollment. So let's get this out of the way right up front. This is my opinion. You are free to agree or to disagree. I believe that recital exists to serve the business, not the other way around. And the moment that I see studio owners prioritizing your end of year show over the well-being and the financial stability of the studio, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, then everything else starts to slide. So let's talk about this as what it is, the silent revenue killer that nobody in the dance world seems to acknowledge. Now, I had a conversation this past week with somebody who is in the business of buying other businesses, and they happen to own a handful of dance studios. And as I was chatting with them, he voiced to me something that I know very well, that they are struggling to grow their dance studios because they turn off enrollment in, middle of January, beginning of February. And from his perspective, he's like, and that's half the year that you're saying no to revenue. And it's every studio, almost every studio that I've ever met for half the year. And this is most studio owners that I meet. They are in the habit of just saying no to money from January to end of May, early June. And every no that you say sends a parent off on a journey to the kids' activity, the next one, the next studio, that will say yes. And it might not even be in dance. It could be cheer or gymnastics or music or whatever. But every no that you say sends that parent on that journey. And I want to be clear that for a lot of you, we've looked at the economy and it's easy to say, oh, it's just a tough season because we have comp and we're in recital season. I want to challenge that idea that it's neither of those external things. It's that most studio owners actively make the decision to stop growing their revenue, to stop making money for 6 months out of the year. And if you're not taking kids now, then you're actually shrinking your summer and your fall. And what I mean by that is if you start saying yes now, then you have more summer and fall. And here's what I mean. If you say no, that means you have fewer kids walking through your front door now. That means you have fewer kids to remarket to when your summer programs are ready. That means that you have fewer kids who are in your pipeline to say yes when you open back up in September. And so it's a big freaking deal when studio owners say no to enrollments in the spring. So what happens when you say yes? Well, it means you get more enrollments, and that can be super beneficial. Now, there's the kind of incremental growth things, right? Where if you're able to put them in a show, then you get more costume revenue, you get more tuition, you build up more of a cash cushion as we head into the summer, which historically is lower for most studios. But here's the hidden part of that is that every other studio in town is also in recital mode. They are also saying no to every single phone call. In the studio that can say yes, and usually in any given metro market, there's like a small, tiny handful that will say yes all year round, and everybody else says no. Come back in September, come back in June. Parents aren't coming back in June. They're not coming back in September. They're gonna make the next phone call. They're gonna go on that mommy group and they're gonna ask who's taking new enrollments right now. And the first person to say yes gets the business. Bottom line. And if you're in an area that has a lot of studios, which means there's a lot of parents, because parents don't know, like real talk, parents don't know that you're in recital mode. They just know that little Susie was spinning in the living room today, this morning, listening to her favorite song on Bluey or whatever, and mom had the thought, maybe I should put her in dance. They don't know that you're not taking. It's not on their radar that they should come back when it's more convenient for you. We're in business. We're in a service business. Our job is to make it convenient for our parents. And so when you say no, it's not great service. Now, I like to use storytelling and sometimes silly examples to demonstrate these ideas. But can you imagine if you went to a restaurant? I mean, you saw the restaurant, the lights are on, there's people in it, it's clearly open. You walk in and say, hi, can I get a table? And they say, well, come on back in 2 weeks. Or come on back in September. Like that's not great. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna go back there because they told me to come back 9 months from today. Absurd. And yet it's the norm, the accepted common practice in studios. And so if you can say yes, if you can find how to say yes, we'll talk about the tactics and the strategies you can use shortly. But if you say yes, you will win because most people can't say yes. And so that means that you've got some opportunity. Here's the other reason why I absolutely love this. You know that surprise bill that the venue throws you because, I don't know, they had like a light broke and now they need to charge you more? Well, if you have more kids coming in, it's covered. Or if you miscalculated the price of costumes or, there was a blunder there, no problem. You've got it covered. Why? Because you've got cash coming in from other places, right? It creates I said this already, it creates a bigger pool for your summer and fall, which means you have more opportunity to get people involved through the summer months, which means you have more kids in the pipeline that are likely, they're already warm leads, warm buyers, more likely to come back in September. Super valuable. And the studio honestly just feels alive instead of limping to the finish line. Now, one of the things that I've had the privilege of observing as a parent, because my daughter dances, is watching the attrition rate of this annual cycle. So, we enroll from August to October and the studio feels alive and vibrant. And then we hit the holidays. And if you do a Christmas show or like a holiday show, a lot of parents take that as like a cue that the season is over or that they should go move on and try something else. And even if you don't, a lot of parents, new year, new me, they decide, all right, we're going to just go do something else. We're going to go try a spring sport or a winter sport. Totally fair. But that creates a dynamic that means you're only really enrolling in the fall. And then the rest of the year, you're just losing kids, right? For every reason, family moves, lost a job, can't afford it anymore, kid's bored with it, wants to try something else. Those are all reasons why kids would drop your program. But if you don't have a consistent way to put new kids in to replace those drops, then what's going to happen? Well, your revenue just dwindles. And then you get to summer, which is everybody's low time anyway. It's everybody's like super scrappy, just got to keep the lights on time of year. Well, not everybody. A lot of our clients do exceedingly well in the summer, but for most studios, they struggle. And so you're already setting yourself up to have a bad time because you aren't taking more kids now. The best thing you could do is take as many kids as you can leading up to the summer, take that cash, stockpile it, and now your summer's covered. Now, some of our studio owners that do this extremely well take summers off entirely. Kids like recital happens in May. They're like, great, we'll see you in September. And then the studio owner just goes on vacation, right? Like that, what an amazing thing to do. Well, they can only do that because they're taking kids year round and they're padding their bottom line. They understand the opportunity that's in front of them and they're taking advantage of it. And this is how real growth happens. You remind yourself that you are in the service business. We'll talk about this in a minute. You remind your teachers that you are in the service business. You treat it like a restaurant. And if somebody comes in and they want a seat at the table, you figure it out. You say yes to everybody when everybody else in town is saying no. Okay, 3 common objections that we hear often, very often, that are keeping you stuck. Number 1, I don't have the space. Open a new class. 1 extra slot. Find 1 extra teacher, that teacher that wants a couple of extra hours a week. That creates revenue. And again, it's not just the cash, the value of the cash from those dancers taking the class right now. It's that they are now warmed up. And if you give them a great experience, you come back to them in August and say, do you want to sign up for the whole year? I'm far more likely to say yes. So you are seeding forward success for the fall right now. Number 2, my teachers won't like it. Very common, right? People say it all the time. It's like, hey, I don't want to put new dancers in a class with dancers that are preparing for recital. And I get that. Now, let's put on our big boy and big girl pants here. You're in business. Your teachers work for you. You want to put kids in that class? You put kids in that class. You want to open an additional class? You can do that too. You want to create demo days where you can bring kids in on a specific, unique day and not interfere with any of the goings on at the studio? You can do that too. But the bottom line is your job as the owner of the business is to put kids in classes. Their job is to manage the kids in the class and teach them well. And so you want to make sure that they understand because a lot of teachers, a lot of employees don't think like entrepreneurs. They don't think like business owners. And so they're not connecting the dots that if kids drop and you don't replace them, then the teacher doesn't get paid. You want to align your goals and their goals so that everybody wins. Third common objection that I hear from this is if I put them in classes with kids that are already dancing, then they're going to be behind for the recital. Great, valid. Then don't put them in those classes. Do a short session, 4, 6, 8 week non-recital class just to get them dancing, because not everybody wants to do recital anyway. You can run non-recital tracks, period. This is a trend that we are seeing across the market in the entire industry, that it used to be that recital was the reason why people showed up to dance. They wanted to see their kid on stage in some sparkly outfit, and that was the capstone of the event or of the year. Now, we just had Julie Kay on a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the importance and the gravity of running a great recital. And that is a strategy, but there's a whole bunch of parents, me included, to be totally honest with you, that are less interested in the rigmarole of the recital and more interested for just the development that my daughter receives in the classroom, the discipline that she receives, the teamwork, the perseverance. These are the things that I'm paying for, not necessarily the sparkly leotard, right? And there's always ways, if you want to do it, if you set your brain to say, okay, we're going to take these kids, how are we going to take these kids? You will figure out ways, because there's lots of creative ways, regardless of how you structure your particular business, that can be successful. Again, bottom line is maybe you're getting the sense that there's not a right or a wrong way to do this. You just need to do it. And so it's not about building some big marketing, onboarding machine to get kids in. It's just deciding we're going to take these kids. Like, we're going to do it. So again, talked about this a little bit. 3 fastest ways if you want to enroll kids now in the kind of late winter, early spring. Mini sessions. Love these. 6 weeks, 8 week classes. You can end with a in-studio parent showcase. You can give it a theme. You can say, we're gonna brand it with a snow princess theme. Like, you can do whatever you want over that 6 weeks, but it's amazing because that 6 weeks is just long enough to habituate the behavior of Tuesday is dance day. So mom gets in the habit of getting in the class and going. It's just long enough that the kid starts to make friends in class. It's just long enough that mom sees the value in it, but not so long that she feels like she's committed forever. 6 week sessions are an incredible way to bring people in. 8 week sessions, 4 week sessions. Like, there's no magic number on this. It's just a short session, a mini mester that you can use to bring kids through the front door this time of year. Number 2, pop-up dance days. Again, big fan. Now, bring a friend, hit and miss, the whole community thing. Sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. To improve that, to take that idea and just ratchet it up, I would actually just build a taster class either during the week or on the weekends. Tell kids that they're welcome to bring their friends on that specific day and just make it a thing. Think like a carnival open house for kids to come up and they get to try classes. Maybe you have, a popcorn machine and a bounce house and cans of soda for the kids or whatever, so that you get people in for a low risk, low commitment event for them, and you have an opportunity to build a relationship and find out if their kids will really gel with what you offer. Number 3, non-recital classes. You can do this. This works incredibly well for the littles. Parents don't necessarily care if their dancer is behind. They just want them to be dancing, moving, making friends, socializing, being happy, right? And so non-recital classes, yes, they are a thing. Yes, you can do them. No, there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. So bottom line, coming out of this episode, and I hope truthfully that you decide to say yes, because most studios, even after listening to this, most won't, and they'll stay stuck and their revenues will dwindle and they'll still deal with attrition and they'll have a really rough summer, and then they won't have cash in the banks when it comes to really turn on the advertising and the marketing for fall. They just won't have it, and that gives you another year of advantage. So if you want to finish strong, start with a great summer program, launch your fall with a lot of momentum, then now is the time to turn this on. Now, I want to invite you, as I always do at the end of these, no pressure, if you want to talk with our team more about this, because I know that this is a very touchy subject for a lot of studio owners. And for many of you, it's like, I don't like it, I don't understand it, I don't know how I would do it. Well, reach out to our team. You can head over to dancemotionmarketing.com, schedule a totally free strategy call, and we will map out and share with you tips and strategies on how to boost that mid-season enrollment without without burning out, without ticking off your teachers, or without mid-season enrollment, without upsetting your teachers, disrupting your recital, or burning yourself out. That's it for this episode. I'll see you same time, same place next week.